Hey, I just wanted to stop in and let you know what a great time we had on Saturday at our workshop. If you weren't there on Saturday, I just wanted to let you know what we did. We started the morning by having a little bit of an icebreaker, thanks to Eric Elfman. We did the name game where we had names on the back of our shirts and we had to figure out who it was by only asking 3 yes or no questions.
So here's Kelly and Dave, and you are paired as, turn around,
I identified mine. Okay, no, you found your partner.
Miss Piggy and Kermit. Yay!
Coffee stopped by.
And after one of the other services, might be Saturday night, could be Sunday. On the way home, I have this overwhelming feeling that was awful. I'm never going to do that again. I can't believe how bad that was. And it's over and over again. It's like a tape. And I now have come to understand that that's one thing that's happening there is that's Satan's way of trying to discourage me and using my own either fear of failure or sense of evaluation against me. But the other part of it is that it's connected to performance. That there's no way around that preaching, what I do every weekend, what Jeff does, and others, is a performance.
And one of the best things that I thought he said was he talked about the fact that his job, and likewise our job, does have performance aspects to it. Now, performance doesn't mean that you put on a show, but performance means there are certain things that you have to do in order to prepare well. When to say things, when to do things. And that was kind of a fantastic introduction into the video that we watched by Tom Jackson.
I like the dialogue here. How did they make the light work on the thing? Ooh, what's up with... I wasn't technically picking it apart. Not one bit. I was caught in the... I'm thinking this. Pull him up! Pull him up! There's room! There's room on that for both of them. Anybody else? Yeah, you're ignorant.
So one of the things he said was that everybody walks into a room on a Sunday morning, whether they know it or not, and usually they don't know, but they usually walk in with the hope that they would be captured and engaged. That there would be something that would happen in the worship service that would create some kind of a moment that they would remember. So we watched some of our videos that I send out on a weekly basis, and we kind of analyzed those, and we looked at people's faces and people's presence to see who was kind of capturing and engaging us for the sake of calling us in to have a moment, calling us in to join them in worship. Some of us are perceiving, we think that we're doing enough, and others of us realize we're not doing enough after all. It's all happening in our hearts and not necessarily on our faces or in our bodies. And so it gave us a lot to think about.
You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. If I sense something is uncomfortable for the congregation, I might say something. Like if Barb decides to step out and okay, that's probably not congruent with her personality. Nor is it might alarm the congregation, right? Right, if you were there and you saw it like, whoa, you know. So I would say something if I felt it was not going to do what she'd hoped it would, but I would hope that each one of us would consider what other steps we can take, like Nancy did, to communicate what our heart is feeling.
One of the things that Tom said, he said that communication from a platform or a stage is 15% words, 30% tone or emotion, and 55% visual. That means that it's really important to consider what we're doing on the platform, and it can't just be a blank face and no movement. In order to lead, our visual presence allows others to be visually engaged and allows them to come in. And we often have to do more on the platform in order to elicit something from the congregation. And I'm not just talking about being demonstrative in our physical worship. I'm talking about just getting them captured and engaged so they can join us in the time of musical worship that we have in a church service.